Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Nanda Priya Narmada Devi Dasi from Charlotte, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting the ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy names which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in the Padma Purana. Number 1, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Number 2, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu. Number 3, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Number 4, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. Number 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Number 6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord. Number 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. Number 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, karma khanda. Number 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Number 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the call this morning?
हरे कृष्ण नंद प्रिय नर्मदा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी from Charlotte. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Aditi Devi Dasi in Canada.
Hare Krishna Aditi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the
Hare
call.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Priya Narmada Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Go ahead, Mataji. No problem.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Mitravinda Mamta Mai Devi Dasi from ISKCON of Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mitravinda Mamta Mai Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna Yashamati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembly. This is Mohammed. You can't take right.
Hare Krishna Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Nand Priya Narmada Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ananda Priya Narmada Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyama Guru Devi Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shyama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. All glories to Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisance unto you and all of the devotees here. This is Ekaradika Leela Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Ekaratika Leela Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept number obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Are there any other devotees who would like to introduce themselves?
Hi, Krishna Nandapriya Narmada Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devi Dasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept number obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Nandapriya. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sorry, I interrupted or not.
No,
Hare
ma'am.
Krishna.
Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Nandapriya Narmada Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anita Ramya from Sharjah. Sorry for the delay. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Ramya Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept number businesses. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining the call. It's never a delay, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Mataji, shall we start? Hare Krishna. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Keshavanand Prabhuji on the call with us to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 4, Text 8. Yeah, before handing over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to ask Aditi Mataji to give a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Mataji, please take over.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. I'm once again very pleased to introduce His Grace Dr. Keshavanand Prabhuji this morning. Dr. Keshavanand Prabhuji was a professional doctor for many years and he is now a practicing monk. Since the last 20 years, he has conducted extensive research and authored books in the field of science and spirituality. He feels the rift between science and spirituality must disappear to bring peace in the world. If spirituality is a superstition and a myth, science is materialistic and atheistic. A new approach to life is needed today that can bring the best of both. Science must re-embrace spirituality and be humble to admit its defects, flaws, and ignorance. And spirituality must base itself on sound, scientific, and rational ideas. His Grace Keshavanand Prabhuji has studied both Vedic and Western philosophy. Besides learning Sanskrit, he also learned Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, Kannada to know about other traditions. His persistent endeavor in the field of science and spirituality has enabled him to come up with seminars on diverse topics like science and the Vedas, mind and machines. Science fails to explain life, consciousness, and beyond, etc., that he has presented in various colleges in India, Europe, and America under the guidance of his spiritual master, His Holiness Bhaktivikas Swami Maharaj. He also started a Gurukula, a traditional system of Vedic education in Punjab, India, where children learn the ancient Vedic culture and values. Besides, he has started a farm community. The community has a traditional way of living with mud huts and thatched roofs, with cows and of course, farming. The communities will set a model for the world to show how to live life based on the principles of simple living, high thinking. Dandavat Pranam to Keshavanand Prabhuji. Over to you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for the introduction. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranams.
Yeah.
1 minute. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Please accept a humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, welcome to the call, Prabhuji. Please take over the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Just give me a minute. Okay. So You can hear me, all of you?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, so we are discussing 7th canto, 4th chapter, 38th verse. I think I'll start. Hmm. 7-4. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 7-4-38. Asina Paryatan Ashan Yana Prapiban Bruvan Na Anusandhati Chaitanya Govinda Paridamrita. So, synonyms: Asina while sitting, Paryatan while walking, Ashnan while eating, Shayana while lying down, Paripiban while drinking, Bruvan while talking, Na not Anusandhate, Neo Etani, all these activities, Govinda are the Supreme Personality of Godhead who enlivens the senses, Paridambhita being embraced. Translation and purport. Prahlad Maharaj was always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna. Thus, being always embraced by Lord, he did not know how his bodily necessities, such as sitting, walking, eating, lying down, drinking, talking, were being automatically performed. Purport. Small child, while being cared for by his mother, does not know how the needs of the body for eating, sleeping, lying down, passing water, evacuating are being fulfilled. He is simply satisfied to be on lap of his mother. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj was exactly like a small child, being cared for by Govinda. The necessary activities of his bodies were performed without his knowledge. As a father or mother cared for their child, Govinda cared for Prahlad Maharaj, who remained always absorbed in thoughts of Govinda. This is Krishna consciousness. Prahlad Maharaj is a vivid example of Krishna consciousness. So, this verse is talking about Prahlad Maharaj being Krishna consciousness, and the level of Krishna consciousness which is described here is of some Bhagavat, which is, of course, I mean to say, Uttam Bhagavat means to always be able to remember Krishna and see him 24 hours in all your activities. That is Uttam Bhagavat's Lakshan. There's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto describing Uttam Bhagavat, and it says, Sarvabhuteshu ya pasyet Bhagavat bhavam atmana. That an Uttam Bhagavat is one who can see God everywhere. Why can he see God everywhere? Why can't we see? What's the difference? The difference is Bhagavat bhavam atmana. He is having Bhagavat bhav. He's having love for God, a service attitude for God. And because he loves God, that is why God, Krishna, he mercifully reveals himself in everything what he sees, and in every situation devotee remembers Krishna and Krishna remembers his devotee. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport there. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport. I think just like a child is cared for them by the mother, because the child is always thinking of his mother, of her mother. The mother keeps the child on the lap, and the child is simply satisfied. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, Prabhupada says, Prahlad Maharaj, he was simply thinking of Krishna 24 hours, and that is why Krishna was caring for him. How does Krishna care for him? By revealing himself in everything in this material world. This concept, by the way, is called as Prem Vaichitya. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, this concept, Jagdanand Pandit, he raises this concept in Prem Vivarth. Srila Prabhupada quotes that in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prem Vaichitya or Prem Vivarth. Now, this concept is really interesting because what it says is that this material world, which is a bondage for conditioned souls, becomes an instrument of liberation for advanced souls. And now that's quite interesting. How? Because Prakriti or Mother Nature, she starts helping a devotee. But for a non-devotee, she obstructs him by binding him to herself. But for a devotee, she helps and serves the devotee by helping him to go towards Krishna, by making him remember about Krishna. So it is not simply an intellectual exercise that we can train our mind to always think about Krishna. That's not the point. That's a part of a story. Prayatatmana, that verse is there. Patram pushpam phalam tamya bhakta prachati tadam bhakti upratam ashnami prayatatmana. Now Madhvacharya comments on this word prayatatmana and he says, well, you can do efforts to see Krishna and think him 24 hours, but nevertheless, bhaktya patram pushpam phalam tamya bhakta prachati tadam ashnami. But Krishna will accept it. Ashnami means eat or accept. Krishna will, when Krishna accepts your efforts, then it becomes fruitful. That is called mercy. So it's not simply an intellectual exercise. Intellectual thing is a part, and that too, intellectualism in devotion becomes a part of devotion when we think about him, when we plan for his service. But that too becomes a part of devotion when we use our intellect and logic as a service to Krishna, not just as an intellectual exercise to understand. That's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that Chaturveda bhajante mam yajana paripasate arto jigyasu artharthi jnani cha bharadrisha. Now, what's the difference? 4 types of people come to Krishna, isn't it? Distressed, people in need of money, inquisitive, and jnani. But then what's the difference between jnani and inquisitive? Inquisitive, both of them apply intelligence and logic. But inquisitive person applies his intelligence and logic just to understand God and not as a matter of service. He doesn't want to understand God to serve him. He wants to understand God to fulfill his inquisitiveness. But Jnani wants to understand God to serve him. That's the difference. So, so we use our intelligence to understand God, to serve him, and then it becomes a part of devotion service. And then, and even after that, we need mercy of God to actually come in contact with it. So that's the dynamics in this verse. Patram pushpam phalam tamyome bhaktya prayachati. Anybody who gives me bhakti, tadam bhakti upritam. I give him back bhakti. Ashnami, I accept that. Prayatatmana, I don't accept the items. I accept the effort in those items which that devotee collects and offers to me. So the service of a devotee becomes pleasing to God when there is effort. Effort on the part of body, effort on the part of intelligence, effort on the part of mind. So by body we serve him, by intelligence we apply logic to understand him, and so on and so on. So that's what is happening in this verse. Prahlad Maharaj is sitting, sleeping, eating, whatever he is doing, he is remembering God. Just like a child remembers his or her mother while doing all the activities. That's the whole point there. So, this Prahlad Maharaj, why Sukdev Goswami is quoting Prahlad Maharaj example? He's quoting Prahlad Maharaj example because the word comes here is here in the verse. The word is there parirambhati. Parirambha means to surround. Pari means all over. Arambha means to surround and to surround. So parirambhati means that a devotee is surrounded by God. That's the whole idea. God, Krishna mercifully surrounds him from all sides. Krishna mercifully, wherever he sees, Krishna is present there. Krishna likes to be present with his devotee. That's the whole point. Parirambhati, Prabhupada also translates as embrace. So Krishna embraces his devotee just like a child is embraced by the mother. So, so in that sense, when a devotee is sincere and he's always thinking of Krishna, then Krishna, through his mercy, he enters the soul of a devotee and likes to remain with him. That's in Bhagavad Gita, no? Maititeshu chapeham. Devotee is in the heart of Krishna, and Krishna is in the heart of devotee. So it's from both sides, you see. It's not that Prahlad Maharaj is always thinking about Krishna while sleeping, while eating, while dancing, or while sitting. It's that Krishna is also thinking about Prahlad while eating, while sitting, while standing. It comes in Sri Sampradaya, this is called as Samlesh Bhav. Samlesh Bhav means absolute unison. This when Hiranyakashipu was trying to kill Prahlad in various ways, by torturing him, by throwing him from mountain, or stamping him in elephant's foot, or maybe lion's den, poisoning. He was trying so much. But so Mahalakshmi told Vishnu that why don't you, I mean to say, you are protecting your devotee. That's very nice. But then you are even allowing Hiranyakashipu to torture him. Why don't you stop all this? Vishnu said, well, I'm not protecting Prahlad. I'm protecting myself. It's not Prahlad, because Prahlad and me are one in love. Just like mother, when she protects a child, she thinks she's protecting herself because child is a part of mother. Similarly, Krishna protects his devotees because he thinks that devotee is part of his, that devotee is his part. That's how he sees his devotee like Prahlad Maharaj. So that is the practice of Krishna consciousness, by the way. Krishna consciousness, see, we are chanting, we are doing arti, we are doing devotion, we are doing so many things. But the idea is not just to chant and do so many things. The idea is to attain a proper platform of devotion through chanting and through service. What is a platform of devotion? The platform of devotion is this verse. We have to come to this point so that we will be able to think of Krishna while doing our ordinary daily activities. You see, sleeping, eating, walking, these are ordinary daily activities. So that practice has to be done. Karmana manasa vacha, that Prahlad Maharaj says, Karmana manasa vacha, Karmana by mind, by voice, by actions, while we are living. Jivan mukta sauchyate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, what's that word? Ihayasya harer dasya Karmana manasa girim nikhilapi avasthasu jivan mukta sauchyate. That Rupa Goswami says, if while living means you are eating, sleeping, doing normal daily activities, if you can think about God, that is a success. So you see, it is said, judge a man by his ordinary activities. Don't judge a man by his extraordinary activities. It is said, one of the philosophers he said. So if you want to judge a man, see his ordinary activities. See how he sits, how he walks, how he speaks. Don't see what he has achieved in life. Because in this age, you can achieve things by hook and crook also. So you can't measure a person by that. You can measure a person by his actions, by his activities. So, and that's why these examples are there. Ashnan, eating, sleeping. Sukdev Goswami doesn't say here that Prahlad was remembering Krishna when he was thrown from mountain. Prahlad was remembering Krishna when lions were forced towards him. Was remembering Krishna when he was poisoning. He doesn't say here. See the verse. He says Prahlad Maharaj remembering Krishna while eating, sleeping, walking. These are normal activities. And that's where we forget Krishna. We can remember Krishna while book distribution. That's very nice. Remember Krishna while making prasad, if at all. We can remember Krishna while eating prasad. I don't know how many can, but It's difficult by eating prasad. We can't remember Krishna while sleeping. That's out of question. But big activities, we can remember Krishna consciously. But small daily routine activities is very difficult. We take it for granted and we forget. And that's a test. That's a test. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you see Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it is said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life was like a potter's wheel. Just like a potter, he revolves the wheel and the wheel keeps on moving. But then the wheel, it keeps on moving. Even if potter leaves it alone, for some time it will keep on revolving because of inertia, which the potter has given. Similarly, the life of a devotee is like that. A devotee is engaged in service of Krishna and his daily activities keep on going, even without his notice. And in those daily activities, he's remembering Krishna. That's how it goes. So, so what's the test of Krishna consciousness? That's a question. What's the test that we have become Krishna consciousness? What's the test that we are advancing in Krishna consciousness? The test is that Satatam Smartyo Vishnu Vismrityano Jatuchit. We are able to remember Krishna always. Satatam Smartyo Vishnu. We are not forgetting him. Now here is the thing. It's not that we are eating and we are remembering form of Krishna, or we are walking, or we are driving and then we are remembering the beautiful form of Krishna. If you do that, then you'll meet an accident, isn't it? He says you are in your mind you are seeing Krishna and you'll meet an accident. So you can't do that. So how to remember Krishna while doing daily activities? That's a big question. How can Prahlad Maharaj do that? Prahlad, even Arjuna, he's fighting when he's remembering Krishna. So obviously he's not remembering the form of Krishna. Krishna is sitting behind him, by the way, when he was fighting. Of course, Krishna is sitting in front of him. He can see the back, he cannot see the front. So he's not thinking of form of Krishna. What he is thinking is that Krishna is with me now on this channel. And I am there to fulfill his mission. That is the thought he's carrying. So what a devotee thinks? A devotee thinks of Krishna through service. So devotee knows that his eating is service to Lord. That's why when he's eating, he's thinking, my eating this prasad will give pleasure to Krishna because this is offered to him and I'm honoring his prasad. My walking will give pleasure to Krishna because we use our legs in service of Krishna always, isn't it? We use our legs as far as possible to serve him in all conditions. So a devotee is always not just thinking of form. He might think of his qualities. He might think of God conceptually. That's the whole point. The concept of service to God is there in the mind, and that matters a lot. Even you see, even in Judeo-Christian Islamic tradition, how do they think of God? I mean to say Allah and Jehovah. They don't have any information of form of God in those traditions in Islam and Judaism. They don't have information of. They have information of qualities of God. So they think of God through his qualities, or they think of God conceptually, that they're following the orders of God to fulfill the orders of God and to live up to them. That is the remembrance of God. And that is the real remembrance. So when when a devotee thinks of God like this, that my life is there to fulfill the orders of God and to fulfill the orders of God. And if I fulfill these orders, then he'll be happy. This concept is there in his mind. So conceptual thinking is very important. If conceptual thinking is not there, then it becomes sahagism. That is called as sahagism, by the way. If you're always thinking of his form and qualities and there's no conceptual thinking, then it becomes sahagism. So conceptual thinking comes from philosophy, isn't it? That my life is there to glorify God and to surrender to Him. That's conceptual thinking. Or philosophical thinking, we can put it like that. So devotee is thinking in terms of concept of existence of God. That's a base. On that base, qualities, form, pastimes are added on that. That is missing, and the whole foundation cracks. So when Arjuna is fighting, what he's thinking? He's not thinking form and qualities and pastimes. He can't fight. He's thinking conceptually. He's thinking philosophically that I am fighting for Krishna. That will please him. This thought is there in his mind, and that is devotion. So that's how all pure devotees, they think. Prahlad Maharaj is thinking like that in his mind. Prahlad Maharaj is an example of remembrance of Lord, isn't it? Shravanam is what Parikshit, Kirtanam is Sukhdev, Smaranam is Prahlad. Why? Because Prahlad Maharaj can always think of Lord. Even after this whole pastime of Hiranyakashipu is being killed by Lord Narasimha. Lord consecrated Prahlad as a king. He made him a king. He did Abhishek for him. And as a king, he ruled the world for so many thousands of years. As a king, he has so many duties to do to manage the world. It's not that he's just sitting in his room and doing bhajan. It's not that. He's not simply remembering pastimes and form of Lord. He was doing management. He was doing like Ambarish Maharaj and all these pure devotees. So how can they think of Lord? Conceptually. That's the whole point. When they are working in this material world, they're thinking conceptually. When they're sitting in alone, chanting his names, then they are on the top of concept. They are thinking of form, qualities, pastimes. Like that it happens. So that's the technique to actually advance in Krishna consciousness, which Prahlad Maharaj is showing from his activities, from his day-to-day routine, uh, daily activities. And that's what Srila Prabhupada says, that is Krishna consciousness. This we have to practice. How do we practice it? If we chant nicely, if we read nicely, then we will have the power to keep the Lord in our mind and in our hearts. We'll have the power to keep the concept and philosophy in our mind and clear it up. So chanting gives us the power, and hearing clears the concept. And when they both combine, when there is power in our soul, the spirit is strong, and the concept is solid, then we'll be able to always think of Krishna's form, qualities, pastimes. Otherwise, it's not possible. That is why Mahaprabhu said Shravanam and Kirtanam. Why Shravanam? To give you a conceptual understanding of God. And of course, to inform you the qualities, names, and pastimes. Inform. But main foundation of Shravanam is to clear up the philosophy and give you conceptual understanding. And Kirtanam is to give you power to keep that in your mind, head, so that you don't forget it. If you don't forget it, then you can remember the name, form, pastimes, God spontaneously. One day it will come to your mind. So that's how we understand this whole let's say story of Krishna consciousness. We should not be confused that taking initiation, simply chanting and doing some stuff. That's nice. I mean, to say initiation, chanting, reading. But we should understand why we are doing chanting and reading. What's the purpose of all these things? The purpose is this verse. We have to come to a platform where we can, even in a daily routine, we can remember Krishna spontaneously. Then wherever we are in this material world, we'll be able to keep Krishna in our heart, and we'll be happy, and Krishna will be happy. That's the whole point of Krishna consciousness. So Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. What's the result of Shravan and Kirtan? Vishnu Smaranam. You see this whole verse of this verse everybody knows, isn't it? So this is a verse. So Navvida Bhakti, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Archanam Bandhanam Asam Sakyam Atmanam. So all this. So the first line, commentators explain that Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. Why Sukadeva Goswami didn't say Shravanam Kirtanam Smaranam? Why Vishnu is there in between? There's a reason for that. Because Shravan Kirtan is separated from Smaran. Shravan Kirtan is process and Smaranam is result. That is why they have kept Vishnu in between, separate them. One is Abhidhay and one is Prayojan, the result. So that's why Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. That's the whole idea there. So if our Shravanam Kirtanam is not leading to Vishnu Smaranam, then it becomes waste. Then it becomes almost redundant. It's useless. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam doesn't help. So so you see the point there. So we have to keep in mind the purpose of practice of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it doesn't give result. What we want, we'll get. If we don't want, we'll not get, in spite of following the process. See, if you're following the process of devotion, and if you want some material benefit, you'll get it. If you're doing yajna, and if you desire son, you'll get a son. If you do yajna, and if you desire liberation, you'll get that liberation from same yajna. It depends on what you want. That's the whole idea. So, chanting Shravanam Kirtan, what do you want? That's the whole idea. What do you want from Shravan Kirtan? So, we want, what do we want? Krishna will ask, what do you want? So, we will say, we want Smaranam. That's what we want. We want to always remember you. That's what we desire. So, that's the whole point there. We should always be alert on this. Otherwise, it will become niyamatra. It will become niyamatra. It will become something, a ritualistic process. The whole Krishna consciousness will become a ritualistic process. We are practicing, we like to practice Krishna consciousness, but it will almost become waste. I mean, we spend so much energy or life into it. But okay, we are all our devotees. We are spending a life and energy into it. So let's put it correctly, isn't it? So that we get success. And it's easy. The easiest part is you have to understand the purpose of your following this process. What do you want from that? Now, of course, Mahaprabhu said the purpose of following the process is Krishna Prem. We want Krishna Prem. But Krishna Prem is a very big subject matter. Krishna will say, precisely tell me what you want. So we'll say, okay, if you want to be precise, we want Smarana, your remembrance. Which Prahlad Maharaj is a clear example of Smarana. That's what we want. Krishna will say, okay, that's good. I'll give you that. No problems. Now, this Smaranam, what Prahlad is, but Krishna will say, okay, you want Smaranam? He'll say, yes, we want a Smaranam. Krishna will say, what Smaranam you want? We want to always remember your name, form, pastimes, and quality. But we have to add there, but in a way which pleases you, not in a way which displeases you. That's the whole point there. Kans was also remembering Krishna 24 hours, but in a way which displeased him because he was envious of him. So Krishna will ask, okay, you want my remembrance in a way which pleases me. What do you mean by that? By that we mean that when we want a remembrance of your name, form, qualities, in a way that when we remember your name, form, pastimes, qualities, we are inspired to serve you. And we know that will please him. Simply remembering him will not please him. Remembering him to get enthusiasm to serve him, that will please him. That's the whole point in this whole Prahlad Maharaj thing. So Prahlad Maharaj, so you might ask, how Prahlad was serving Krishna? He was simply remembering Krishna, Lord Vishnu. He was not doing active service, isn't it? He was not doing book distribution. He was not doing Govinda restaurant or something. But he was serving Krishna. How? Because in his mind he knew that he wanted to show the world the power of holy. So when he was chanting the holy names of Krishna, he was being saved by the torture of Hiranyakashipu. And the message which went to the public was that God is so powerful and his name was so powerful that he is saving Bhakta Prahlad. That's the whole point. So yeah. This is how the whole dimension or paradigm of Mahabhagavat is. We should all try to become Mahabhagavat. It's difficult. If we are all together and take inspiration from each other, we'll be able to remember Bhakta Prahlad. Bhakta Prahlad, yeah, of course. And then we will be able to become like him. And then always remember Krishna. That's the success of our lives. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Is there any questions? I want to entertain questions. That session goes long. That is why. And I also have some things to do now after some time. Is there any questions? Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhuji, pronouns, very nice class, Prabhuji. So the basic line is we have to always remember Krishna. So you very wonderfully explained that the Shravanam, Kirtanam and Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam. So the verse. We have whatever we are hearing, we have to remember by speaking it out again and hearing it out again. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. Devotees, any questions? Please go ahead. Yes, Prahlad,
can you hear me? Thank you very much, Mataji. Danvat Pranam, Prabhuji, and all my staff, Mataji. Prabhuji, my just question is that the process by which we are trying to remember Lord Shri Krishna in our daily activities. For example, whenever I drink water, I remember Rahum Apsu Kaunteya. Whenever I see the moon in the sky, I remember, Pushnami Osadam. So is this a process, you are talking about conceptual remembering, conceptual. I do not have that feeling that I'm rendering some service, but somehow I'm getting in touch with Bhagavad Gita or, Bhagavatam slok like that. This process, isn't it bona fide? It will not take us to Smaranam, yet at some stage of our life or next life like that.
If we consciously want to remember Krishna through this process, then it will.
I see.
Otherwise, it will not. Because many people do Shravan Kirtan. I mean, to say a person is doing Shravan Kirtan for material benefit, he will get material benefit, or he might not, but he will never get love of God, isn't it? Because he doesn't want it. Yeah. There are so many Sahijyas who are doing Shravan Kirtan, but they never achieve love of God because they think they already have love of God. That's the whole problem. So it is the point what the Jiva desires in his heart while performing the process. That's why I was always emphasizing, be clear on the fact what you want. So, okay, devotees think by Shravan Kirtan we'll automatically get love of God. But that's not precise. Love of God is a very big subject matter. Okay, Krishna says, okay, what do you want exactly? Love is a big thing. Okay, so here Sukadeva Goswami points out, Smaranam, I want to remember you in a way which pleases you. This is a first stepping stone. This is what I want. So Krishna might say, okay, so you don't want love of God, you want my remembrance. That's what you want. Well, love of God is there, but when you climb the stairs, you first step on the first stair, and then second stair, and then third stair. Love of God will be there, but the first stepping stone is the remembrance. That's the whole point there. And even the last step is remembrance. But there will be a difference between first and the last step of remembrance. That's another story. But within love of God, the center is remembrance. That's why we have pinpointed the center, and we want that. That is
Thank
how
you
it
very
will
much, Prabhu.
reach.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Dhanwad Pranam.
Let me check if there are any chat questions. Yes, Radha Jyoti Mataji is asking, chanting is best service, then how to develop the best service attitude to chant? How to define the best service attitude?
How to define the best service attitude?
Best service attitude.
What is this question? I don't understand.
So chanting is a service attitude, but how to define what is the best service attitude? How to serve, that is a basic. So which is the best service?
I think she should understand again question. It's not clear, no? It's
Mataji, if you're there, can you please put up your question?
You the question again.
Yeah. Radha Jyoti Mataji, are you there? You can ask a question, Mataji.
Or you can ask, yeah.
I think she's saying, like, when we are chanting in the mood of service, how to do, like, the best way that, like, what should be our mood for chanting?
She's even
Hare
there or not?
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, can you?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanwad Pranam to you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanwad Pranam to you. Prabhuji, we say that the chanting is the best service because it is the best service. So how to define our attitude towards the best service? What is the attitude that we should cultivate so that our chanting will be the best service for
The
Lord?
attitude is that by my chanting the holy names, Radha Krishna will be pleased. And Srila Prabhupada says that please pray, please engage me in your service, isn't it? Hey Radha, hey Krishna, engage me in your service. With this attitude we chant, and by my service, please get pleased. This attitude if we chant, then that's one of the best way to chant. One of the best ways to chant. That is service attitude while chanting. In a very general way.
Yes, because every day when we chant, our attitude is not up to the mark to chant, right? It's like quite material.
Yeah.
That's the reason I was asking how we should cultivate that mood or that service attitude while chanting.
Nice Shravana, you have to have a good quality hearing. Then that mood will sustain. Otherwise that mood will go off.
Prabhuji, is when we hear for say 2 days, then the third day chanting is far more good chanting. When we hear less, then the chanting is quite.
So hear me. That's all. Keep on hearing. That's the whole process, no? The process is to hear. That is the process.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, through continuous hearing, we have to develop the taste for chanting also.
Yeah.
What you meant. So, but that process I'm cultivating for a long time. I don't know when I will. So, please pray for us, Prabhuji. There is one question in the chat, Prabhuji. Mausami Mataji is asking, how to remember Krishna always? Chant Krishna's name, kahite, suite. Doing anything I forget while study also. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji. Prabhuji, did you get the question?
So what's the question?
So how to remember Krishna always? That is the question.
Well,
every time, like we are when we are eating, sleeping, every time, how to remember Krishna always?
That's the whole lecture all about. It requires a good amount of conceptual understanding. That's what I told. Clear your concepts and think about Krishna conceptually. Clear your philosophy and think of him philosophically. We have to change our thinking to a philosophical thinking. Otherwise, we'll not be able to remember him. So when you are eating, that's what I gave the example. When you are eating, you should think that my eating will give pleasure to Krishna because this is his prasad. I'm honoring his Buddha. When you're walking, you should think the inspiration, the energy to walk is given by Krishna. And I should use this energy for his service. So when you think like this conceptually, then you will always be able to remember him.
Very well. Thank you, Prabhuji. So I just remembered Prabhupada and his disciple when they went to the airport. So the disciple was looking at the air hostess and suddenly Prabhupada was there. So if the air hostess is so beautiful, then think how the creator of the air hostess would be.
Like that.
So yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. I don't find any more questions or hand raised, Prabhuji. So with your permission, we can end the call here, Prabhu.
Okay. Yeah.
Very well. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your valuable time and association, and thank you so much for such an instructive class. Yes.
Chat box, there is a question.
Yeah, one last question has come. कैसे रिलेशन ले ये कि कृष्णा के नाम कृष्णा खुद है. In Hindi it is. In Hindi the question is in Hindi.
How do you know that there is no difference between Krishna's name and form?
Well, how do you know? It's a simple answer is, how do you know that the cake is sweet? By eating. So when you keep on chanting with this concept that his name and he is same, then slowly we'll get realization that it is really a fact. So we have to keep on chanting with this understanding that he and his name is one, and pray to Krishna, Krishna, please reveal me this truth. And then he will do that. There's the only way, there is no other.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's only by Krishna's mercy that he will reveal to us. I think you had took a topic about this also.
Okay. Jai.
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः
His Grace Keshavanand
Gauranga Nityananda Gauranga